When I moved into the old house on Hollow Creek Lane, it seemed perfect. Quaint, secluded, and cheap. Almost too cheap. The realtor shrugged when I asked why. People don't like old houses these days, she said with a forced smile. I didn't press her. The price was unbeatable, and I was eager to start over somewhere new. The first few days were uneventful. The house had a certain charm with its creaking floors and antique fixtures. It even came with a piano, sitting proudly in the corner of the living room. Its black and white keys were yellowed with age, and it was wildly out of tune, but it added character. It was around the third night that I noticed the whispers. At first, I thought they were in my head, a fleeting sound, just on the edge of hearing, like a far-off breeze stirring dry leaves. It always came when I was alone in my bedroom. I'd glance at the walls, the windows, but nothing was ever there. The first time I heard it clearly, I was lying in bed. My room was dark, save for the faint glow of my phone charging on the nightstand. Just as I began to drift off, the whisper came. Low, insistent, and right next to my ear. I bolted upright, heart pounding. The room was empty, the door still locked. Maybe it was a dream, I thought, or my imagination. But the next night, it happened again. This time, I didn't sleep. I lay frozen, clutching the blanket, staring at the shadows pooling in the corners. By dawn, I'd convinced myself I was stressed, overworked, or maybe even losing my mind. Then the mirrors started. It was subtle at first, a flicker of movement in the corner of my eye, something dotting just out of sight. But one evening, as I brushed my teeth, I noticed my reflection wasn't moving in sync with me. It lingered for a moment longer, staring at me with wide, unblinking eyes before resuming its mimicry. Out of fear, I smashed the mirror that night. But mirrors are everywhere. Windows, polished surfaces, even my phone screen. And wherever there was a reflection, it was there, watching me.
Why won't you answer me?
It whispered through the shards of glass on my bathroom floor. I stopped leaving the house. It didn't matter. Whispers followed me, growing louder, more insistent. I covered every reflective surface, but I couldn't block them all. Every so often, I'd catch glimpses of my reflection, smiling when I wasn't. A week ago, I started blacking out. I'd lose hours at a time, only to wake up in strange places, on the floor, in the hallway, once even outside my building. My hands were always scratched and bloody, my nails cracked and filthy. Last night, I woke to find my reflection sitting on the edge of my bed. It wasn't mirroring me anymore. It leaned closer, its eyes hollow and dark, its mouth stretching into a grin that didn't belong on my face. It said,
Repeat after me and I will be gone. Set me free.
Just stop it. Stop tormenting me. I set you free. I begged. The entire room started shaking. Clock was ticking violently, and there was hysterical, manic laughing. And then everything came to a sudden stop. Eerie silence came over me, and I was enveloped in complete darkness. I felt cold. I felt empty, lost, hopeless. A curtain was raised, and I saw my room, but I was looking through a mirror. Then I saw myself, walking around and looking at me. It was me, but it wasn't me. Those eyes, they weren't mine. There was nothing behind those eyes. I started shouting at it, begging it to set me free. It gave me an evil grin and covered Mira once again, turning my new reality into darkness. I lay here now, trapped and lost, telling my story to no one. But if you hear this somehow, let it be a warning. Don't look into the mirrors. Don't listen to the whispers. And for the love of God, don't set it free.